Alright, yesterday we talked about something that I call the false cost fallacy that has assailed Pathfinder's caster discourse for quite a while. It's a fallacy in which you're arguing a point and then you either exaggerate the cost of something or you apply a cost that does not exist. Check out the related video for the previous examples. I wish I could fill out the second one a little bit, but we need to talk about spells per day and how that's often applied as a false cost fallacy. Now, just to be frank, I'm not saying you're never going to have to stop your adventuring day a little bit earlier than you might have wanted to because the spellcaster ran out of spells. That's gonna happen, but you're going to run into a lot of online discourse where people assume it's the default state. They'll see limited spells per day, and then without actually factoring in how it operates within the context of the game, they'll go online and devote like half their day to talking about, so spells per day sucks. Let's talk about spells per day structure on spellcasters. You either have 4 slots per day, or you have 3 slots per day and a leaning on focus spells or a bonus pool of spells, sometimes both like with the cleric. Or you have 2 spells per day, and you have a very hard leaning on a dynamic that's like focus spells, and those are rechargeable. And oftentimes, your top 3 ranks of spells are your most viable options for use in combat against serious threats. And before level 5, you do not have access to a full 3 ranks of spells to cast. Now, we've talked about this many times on the channel. In levels 1 through 4, if you have a runed weapon, which you can provide yourself, you have a viable strike, and then you have a cantrip, which takes no resources, and a strike combined with the cantrip is pretty in line with the damage of a ranged martial. So where you are literally contributing as much as a martial in these levels without expending any resources, and then you have your ranked spells. Starting at level 5, you start having access to a full top 3 ranks of spells, and you might have a focus pool. So you're telling me you're going through anywhere from 9 to 12 spells, and potentially a focus spell, and also strikes and cantrips being on the table to pad turns, and you're not through the content of an adventuring day. Once you hit the 7th and beyond, spells start falling out of your top 3, but if you picked good spells, they are still viable options for goon fights and sometimes serious fights. Infuse Vitality is one of the most damaging spells in the game, at rank 1. But hey, sure, if you've run through all of those resources and still have things to do and treat full HP as being not tired, the martial can go forever and is held back.